Hello, Internet. James Allen from Out of 8. Today I'm playing Driving and Management Simulation American Truck Simulator New Mexico. This is the first paid DLC for the game because it started out with California and you got Arizona and Nevada for free. So this is the first one that's kind of a standalone expansion here. Gives you obviously the state of New Mexico. I'm starting out in Gallup. Visited all the cities, done a pretty good number of the routes also. From transporting goods back and forth. New Mexico overall has a very high level of detail. I'm especially impressed at the expressway interchanges. I went to graduate school in Socorro over here, and the exits for both sides of Socorro they look exactly like they do in real life. It's pretty great. I mean, obviously the developers went on, Google Maps or whatever and looked up what they actually look like, but it's pretty impressive that, that level of accuracy is in there. Also for the Big I in Albuquerque. And I think overall that the, area of New Mexico is represented quite well in the game. Has a good amount of variety. Has mountains up in the north, north of Santa Fe near Taos. Has really flat, boring areas over down by Carlsbad and Roswell. And then kind of something in between there too. So it doesn't have like the well-known landmarks that some of the other states does, but it does have pretty unique geography associated with it. So, like I said, I am in Gallup right now. So we'll wait for that to load up. And then we'll try to find a job. I actually have a plan. I kind of want to find something that takes me through Albuquerque and Socorro. So actually I'm going to back out and go to the job market. And we'll see what we have here. So let's do distance. We have one in Albuquerque, which actually I haven't gone to that yet. I might do that and then do maybe one more job because that one's pretty short. Or I could do Alamogordo. Actually, I'll do Alamogordo because that's actually exactly where I want to go. Because I haven't been on 380 yet. So we'll do that. We'll go to Alamogordo. Alright. Turn my lights on because it's 6 in the morning. Stayed at a truck stop overnight. Try to get a little bit more daylight so you can see, more of the vistas. That are available. Actually, I think it might be easier. Well, let me check the map. It might be easier to take a left to go around the... well, no, yeah, it's under the thing. I just have to go all the way around. Alright. So that's annoying. At least the coast is clear. They've also added a couple non-map related features in the game. In addition to having a pretty good variety of truck stops that are available now, they also have side of the road events. Before, you kind of had fixed locations where there would be construction and stuff like that, but now it seems to be semi-random. Usually on an interstate, they'll close off part of the 4-lane highway, one of the lanes, for like a cop will have a car pulled over, or there'll be construction or a wreck or something like that. So it's nice to add a little bit of flavor in the game in that sense. So I'm assuming that they put that in a base game patch too, but I'm not actually completely sure about that, obviously, because I have the DLC installed. So I wait for this light. Should probably need fuel and stuff, although I should be okay on this trip because I don't think it's going to take too long. And I'm speeding. Like a dirt road. Alright, so got that. Take that job. And let's run over here. Turn on my overhead view so I can back in correctly without running into too much stuff. Close enough. Alright, we're on our way. 6 hours, 5 minutes. That's not too bad. I shouldn't actually have to stop. And I have plenty of fuel for that too. So what's my rest time? Yeah, 8 hours, so I'll just barely make it. Just fine. Yeah, I'll cut off this car. Normally I have music playing in the background through like Amazon Prime Music or, you know, whatever local MP3s I have, but obviously that will throw up a bunch of content violations from YouTube, so I will not be doing that. So you'll have to enjoy my rambling about stuff I remember from New Mexico from 15 years ago or whatever it was. Oh, Shoots Rain just came through. See if I can stop on the tracks here. Alright, let's jump on 40. This is this exit ramp is very accurate. How they kind of half-assed exit ramps there. It's just a road basically that they turned into an exit ramp. A lot of I-40 is overlain directly on US 66, so they basically got rid of that when they built it. Same thing with I-25 is on top of US 85, so they just got rid of it on all the road signs. So it just disappears while you're in New Mexico, which is interesting because it's concordant the whole way through. Alright, so we're off to Albuquerque. On the way to Alamogordo. We'll go through Socorro too. Alright, cruise. One thing this does do is it sets up some pretty lengthy trips now. If you go from like Hobbs or Clovis on the east side of New Mexico all the way over to like San Francisco or Reno or something like that, it's a pretty long haul. You know, that'll take you a good part of an hour and a half of real time to get through it. One thing that I do notice about this, and I have the graphics cranked up all the way, there is a lot of pop-in with the terrain in the very background, which is noticeable, obviously, or else I wouldn't be saying anything about it. So that's, you know, I wish that they would have everything out, you know, render in like that right there. It's a little distracting, and, you know, people have machines that'll be able to process all that efficiently and not have to really worry about it too much. Overtake this bus. Again, this like landscape is so accurate. Now, obviously, it's not a one-to-one thing, but and then the feel of the towns is accurate too. You know, slightly run down, sort of ethos. No, actually, I'll stay over here. These guys are going kind of slow. Turn my lights off. Another thing that they've added to the exit signs are mile markers, which are the actual mile, mile-based exit numbers that they have in real life, which is kind of cool because you can kind of keep track of how many miles you have going. While you're traveling like that. That's 102, so we're 102 miles from the Arizona border. Random bump. They have a good selection of rest areas now too, like that one over to the right. I haven't checked them all out, but definitely more than just generic stuff. You're basically in Albuquerque now. And lots of new models, along the road and stuff. Even though they really only have to put the stuff along the roads, it's still an impressive amount of detail, which is probably why, at the current pace they're at, it's going to be like a year for every state, which is going to take a while. But it does look really good. It definitely works well, and really gets you into the setting. That's the Rio Grande. And it does actually look like that. We'll go over it again here in a little bit, but it's like a brown ditch. It's not very impressive in this part of the state. If you go further north, you have the Rio Grande Canyon, which is a little bit more impressive if you take 64 across. And then further south near when it's on the Texas border, it's a little bit better, but I mean, that's it. Alright, so we should be getting off pretty soon. This is downtown. Past these guys. Big Eye time, intersection I've been through many times. So again, this is like, it's pretty impressive that they nailed it, That's a lot of work to get that look like what it actually looks like. Alright, so we're on 25 now. Not very much traffic for Saturday morning at 8:14. One thing that they could have modeled a little bit more accurately, and most of the cars here actually go the speed limit. When I was in New Mexico, I would go like 75, and I would be blowing past everybody, which is interesting, especially in the wide open areas here. And this is Albuquerque. As accurately portrayed in the documentary Breaking Bad. I need to get over as this exits at the airport. Yeah, to exit 220, Rio Bravo. Good. That's how you get to the airport. The Sunport. Going a little bit too fast. There we go. I made this drive many, many times from Albuquerque to Socorro to Albuquerque and back, and it takes an hour to do it. It's 70 miles because the exit for Socorro is 150 and the airport's 220. In the game, it takes like 2 minutes. I wish it was that short in real life. But I clearly remember all the different exits and stuff. The Isleta casinos over there. To the left, here's a Rio Grande again. A brown ditch. Let me center my view. Then Los Lunas and Belen, and then a whole lot of nothing down to Socorro. But again, you know, here it's very compressed. So, you know, that was 70 miles, and we're in Socorro already. They do have M Mountain. They don't have the M on it, but that's the mountain right there. They have an M on it for the School of Mines. I think I'm actually going to go off this exit because I want to... My apartment is actually in here, which is hilarious, I think. Where I was at. It's, because I was right by the exit. It's right there. That building over there. That's where my apartment was. You can't drive over to it because they have invisible walls over here, but that's literally it, is over there. It's just right off of El Camino Real. Socorro. Spent 2.5 years here. Oh yeah, and mountains back there. And it actually looks like it too. They actually got, you know, the topography right on that. Obviously, the stores and stuff aren't 100% accurate, but that's fine. It's really just supposed to be, you know, evoke the, you know, the setting, not necessarily be 100% accurate. You know, the road placements are generally, you know, where they're supposed to be, because that's, you know, they just use Google Maps or whatever to figure that out. But, I mean, it looks like a pretty good representation of what Socorro actually looks like. Right. We're going to get on the interstate to get off the interstate at 380, but that's right. I don't know why I have this way station bypass on. It must be a bug or something. The one other thing, when you go through a lot of these towns in New Mexico, there's a lot of traffic lights, and they're not timed at all, which is annoying. By the way, if you take 60 west of here, you go by the VLA, the Very Large Array, all the satellite dishes, and they are actually in the game, which is pretty cool. And they have the train tracks to go across 60 to, you know, move the dishes where they want them. So if you have a chance to go out west of Socorro on 60, you'll be able to check those out. Over there, I need to get over a lane to go south. On 25 for one exit. Then we'll get immediately off on 380. And that's it. We're leaving Socorro. Again, this interchange is like exactly what it looks like in real life, which is pretty cool. Alright, so we're gonna 380. See, I don't know which road they have modeled in here. $64, maybe? I'll have to look. So this goes past the Trinity site where they detonated the first atomic bomb off to the right on the White Sands Missile Range, which is also the setting. Up here is the Stallion's Gate. It's the setting for the Quantum Leap show. So this is where it was located over here. Across the Rio Grande again. So, which road did they have me going down? It is, it's 54. That's right. So, yeah, this is Carrizozo right here. Ooh. Oh, pressed a button. For the parking brake, apparently. Hit a button on my gamepad. Let's see if they have all the lava flows near Carrizozo. Modeled in here, because I haven't actually been this way yet. Oh, this does look like it. This road. It really does. Yeah, as you get further east, it gets you encounter some mountains between here and Roswell, because the Rio Grande basically is a rift in between the two, sets of the Rockies. But then after that, it's just devastatingly flat from there on all the way to Texas, through Texas. So it'll be interesting to see where they're going to head next, which state. I'm guessing it's probably going to be like Oregon. I'd probably do Oregon, Washington, Idaho, and then kind of fill up and do Colorado, Wyoming, Montana, and then head over to Texas. But again, if they're, it takes a lot of work to do these, and they're also working on stuff for Euro Truck. So I don't think it's going to be a very quick, succession of things. Like, I'm thinking maybe 2 a year, which means to get all the states in is going to take quite a long time. Unless you start bundling them. Although, when they get further east, the amount of space they have to fill will get a lot lower just because the states are going to be smaller. And you'll probably group some states together. And New Mexico's a big state. Let's look behind these slow people. Ah, they do have it. That's awesome. So this is a big giant lava flow. Right here near Carrizozo. Alright, so take it right here. This is actually pretty much what Carrizozo looks like in real life. It's basically an intersection. I'm gonna go to Alamogordo. Alright, so now we're going to go on the east side of the missile range. Down to Albuquerque. Only 65 though. I should be good on sleep. We're almost there. Yeah. Like 25 miles. Is this like north of the town or is it in the town? No, it's actually in Alamogordo. It's just not that far. Yeah, I'm speeding now, aren't I? Alright. When do I have to deliver this? So, I'm well within the window. I would have made the window if I hadn't stopped in Socorro. So I would have gone direct, but it's alright. Roadrunner. I have actually seen an actual Roadrunner in New Mexico. It was outside of my house. It didn't make any are you serious? Didn't make any beeping noises, but it did run pretty fast. Oh, these lights are actually working for me. I wish they had time lights, make going through a lot of these little towns a lot more bearable. Because you just end up hitting every single red light all the way down. Oh, this is an actual light. I'm almost there too. Car dealership. Probably the car dealership. Alright, where you want it? Just hell with that. I am excellent. Yay. Well, there you go. That's New Mexico. I think that they've done a really excellent job covering the state. There's a high level of detail. Has a lot of the natural landmarks. Like I said, that lava field near Carrizozo over here. That I was happy that they included. It really evokes the landscape of the state. And as someone with, a vested interest in New Mexico, because I lived there for a period of time, and I'm very familiar with what it looks like and the roads and stuff like that. I think they did a very, very good job. And it bodes well for the future, because if they keep this level of detail up, each new state's going to provide a lot of content that you can enjoy. And it'll be a little bit varied, too, especially as we move further east and get away from the desert and more towards, hills and stuff like that. And then also like in the mountains up in Colorado and stuff. So very curious to see where they go next. Hopefully it won't take as long to do it. But I definitely recommend, if you like American Truck Simulator, getting New Mexico. It does add in the ability to do a lot longer routes. The sites are interesting enough, gives you new places to meet, which is always fun. Also has, accurate roads if you're into that sort of thing, which I certainly am. It has different truck stops and stuff like that that you can go to as well. And also the new events on the side of the road, the construction and the wrecks and the cop cars and stuff like that is really nice. Plus, if you get it, you're supporting future, the potential for future expansion in the game as well, for whichever state they work on next. So definitely recommend New Mexico as a quality addition to the American Truck Simulator game. That's all I have for today. Till next time, bye now.